Hey everybody, it's Kai from the Techno Funk Boy. We're going to be reacting to just a little bit of video game music today. This is something that I've been wanting to get back to, and we had a few minutes here. And honestly, you know, everything going on recently, I just need to listen to some good music. Well, I don't know about y'all, but that's just something that really just needs to happen at this point. And so we're going to try to hopefully be doing that. We're going to be listening to an SNES soundtrack from the game Shadowrun. This is not a game I've played before. It's not a game I've seen before. It wasn't even really on my radar. I guess in the last year, I've listened to a few actual play podcasts of the tabletop version of Shadowrun, and I've really enjoyed it. I've never played it myself, but I have really enjoyed the listening to those podcasts. And so that caught my attention as like, oh, there's actually an SNES video game based on this. And so why not? I've heard from the internets that this soundtrack is good, and so we're going to find out. Now, if this is your first time joining us, we do have a playlist of video game soundtracks reactions. Like I said, this is something we try to do fairly regularly, but you can find that playlist right up here. And without further ado, let's jump in to the first track on the list. It's called Seattle 2050. Okay, it does look like on YouTube this is labeled as American. There's a Japanese one that's a lot longer. I'm just going to fast forward to this. I'm thinking that this is just an extended version where the American one is cut off. Oh wow, this whole intro is much longer. Okay. So the first track was 52 seconds long. I fast forwarded to the minute mark on the Japanese one, and we're still kind of in this just atmospheric, ambient sound. I'm gonna fast forward again. Now we're getting close to 2 minutes, and wow. All right, let's jump over to the main theme. Okay, we're gonna pause it right there for just a minute. All right, so they're definitely going for a mood here. I'm not sure exactly. I haven't got quite a feel for things yet, but they are definitely kind of using these very long tones to present like this very kind of a much more tense atmosphere than normal to amp up that tension, that mystery, that kind of horror element. Now this is something that I do a lot in the Dyson Dreary soundtrack. Those really long just notes that just hold and really work very nicely to just to build up that kind of tension. Without knowing what this game is, what am I thinking that this is so far? Something like some kind of survival horror game is what would jump to mind. That's not the impression I've gotten from the tabletop Shadowrun game. And so that's kind of conflicting in my mind, but I haven't played this game, and so I don't know if that's what's supposed to be into it. But that's all that going from the intro to the main theme. This seems to be like all title screen stuff. So let's jump into the morgue, which is probably like the first area of the game, and see how it sounds. Let's quick pause for just a second. Okay, so this is pretty interesting. Actually, now I'm getting a better feel for the game. The beginning part was using was using more like 80s synthwave sound, but it was evoking kind of this I kind of a mystery type of an atmosphere, like kind of like a whodunit type of a thing. That's not really like action, not really an action thing or a survival horror. But now we're getting more into something that's probably a little bit more plot driven, more on on the side of unraveling this, whether it be a mystery or just a complex plot, doing that. Then the drums come in, and now we're getting a much more of a synthwave vibe, which is which I mean, it's just going to amplify the cyberpunk elements of Shadowrun, which is great. So we're gonna listen a little bit more of this, and then move on to 10th Street. Yeah, I mean that song fills out nicely. It takes a couple of unexpected turns just to keep it interesting as it heads into the loop. There, it's not an action theme. It is more of something that I expect to find in like an RPG, a plot driven mystery type of a game. Let's head to 10th Street. I do like this bass. Yeah, are y'all noticing that synth in the background? It's very faint, but I'm kind of digging. Obviously not now. Those drums, yeah. Okay, I love those. I love those drums. The drums make that song. The song on its own is not very good. It's not. This is not really my cup of tea at all here. But the drums are cool and they're driving, and now things are kind of picking up, and so this section of the game I would expect a little bit more danger, a little bit more action. This one's a short one called Shady Conversation. Okay, simple enough. We're keeping it, we're keeping it sounding like synths, and to keep that cyberpunk vibe, but also putting in a lot of stuff we would expect in mysteries, and the kind of detective convention type things, followed by funky conversation. Well, let's hit that funky conversation. A little counter rhythm on the top. Dun, dun, dun. I like that. That is exactly the soundtrack that goes through my mind when I'm having a funky conversation. All right. Seems familiar. Hey, this part's cool. This part I like a lot, actually. All right, that riff I'm confused on. I don't know. I can't place the mood. It's like the different patches that they're using. It seems like they're trying to do kind of an ominous thing, but that progression, I get the feeling of like Journey, like like belting out like this just super jamming ballad to that I can't figure out which direction it's going, but I could totally see like Neil Shore like ripping one out over that, but everything else about the song seems darker. Yeah, this is this does not seem familiar at all. I can't even quite place it. But let's head over to the gunfight, and let's see what happens there. All right, so far that opening. Come on, we we have to replay that one, right? Yeah, come on, right? Yeah. That's smooth, yeah. Okay, that first bit, that's smooth. Okay, you actually hear the bass doubling the melody, and then in the little interlude between the phrases, jumps out ba-dum, along with the beat. That's really cool. So far this is cool. Do you hear it? Yeah. Smooth, yeah. That's beat, man. That beat. Yeah. 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 Okay. So far, this has been my best, my favorite track. My favorite track on this. That's smooth. That's very very cool. All right. Dead. There's probably, it seems like the game over track. We're gonna find out. All right. Pet peeve of mine: sliding notes on these on stuff like the SNES. It annoys me every single time. It just doesn't work. It doesn't sound good. It never sounds good. I mean, even when Uematsu does it, I don't like it. I just don't. And so, otherwise, otherwise, this is a fine game over track. But that's just that's just one of those things that grates on my ears. And it might just be me, and I'm totally cool with it just being me. But yeah, not really my thing. And so I need y'all to do something for me. I need you to hang with me for one more video because we are only halfway through this soundtrack, and we've been going on for a while. And so tomorrow, part two of this video is going up. I did a video last time. It was like 37 minutes long. It was ridiculous, and I don't want to do that again. I think it was just too long. And so, hang with me. Hit the subscribe button. It's right down there. Hit the little bell beside it so you get notified of when the next video is coming up. And tomorrow we will have the new video of the second half of the Shadowrun soundtrack, and we will see you then. Thanks.